Hey everyone, it's Reem again with a little video, this time about choosing the wrong woman. Um, Sometimes it happens that you are interacting with a woman, you are having whatever kind of a relationship, if it's either you see each other a few times a week, or you are spending more time together, or you're in a chat conversations or something. And what then happens is that sometimes you're in a kind of a problematic situation where you know that something is not flowing, not working, and it takes work to get things solved. These are things where you have to put in the work that actually are moments to reflect on what's really going on and what's really there. What I've noticed is when I was with one woman recently, is that she had a lot of things for me to point out in a kind of a dark feedback way, where she pointed out things that were quite vulnerable to hear and in a sense depressing if you listen to that too much. But so it was kind of like a harsh and kind of like strong feedback. But on the other side, I have now things to work on, and that's important. I have the willingness to honestly reflect, even with her help, also without her help, with friends and whatever. Man groups are also part of that. To reflect on myself, what's in my life working, what's in my life not working, not yet working, what needs some extra attention, that kind of, like making an honest estimation of what needs work, and then act on it. Even if it's painful, even if it's troublesome, that kind of things. Some feedback I got recently was about my posture, some belly fat, and in general having a bit of a restless, stressful state, which at times it can kind of, I won't say snap, but it's a bit like agitated. It's easily to get from neutral to agitated. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. All these three things, and I've made a judgment in the next weeks to implement on the level of habits to work on these things. And it sounds now that I'm a guy with having some serious problems in all these areas. It's not like that. It's just that I have always a few things to work on, and I'm open and looking to that, and then put in the time and resources to get those things fixed. I'm not coming from a frame where if you would do this for 1 or 2 years, you will be perfect and there's nothing to work on. I'm coming from a frame where there's always things to work on. If you are there sitting watching this video thinking, I have nothing to work on, man, I've done I've read 5 books, did some courses, and I'm totally fine. That's true, that's in a way also true for me, but I'm coming from that point of improvement, that there's always something to improve on. So, having said that, she gave me some of the stuff, of course from her feminine, emotionally targeted approach. I digested that and I took some parts of that and I'm working on these things. But, however, I've noticed that whenever I notice certain patterns, and for this woman it was about being very silent in kind of social situations, not sitting next to people and not having an inspiration to talk or to ask a question or introduce herself or whatever, because she just knows that those people will not be of any value in her life. And I mean, this can be true, of course. She may be even right on that. But if you have this as 100% kind of strict rule, then it's weird to be with this kind of people social environments, and that was what happened. That was exactly what I pointed out to her. I said, like, hey, I understand where you're coming from. However, there are some times when I like to introduce you to friends and to people, and I would like you to see a bit more engaging with them, like, and something like that. I said it in a very nice, kind, soft way to make her aware of that. And at that time it got bluntly kind of rejected, like, no, I'll do it my way and blah, blah, blah. That was one thing. There was another thing as well, which I don't go into detail now, it's quite personal, but I think it has to do something with her past. And this was again something that she rejected. So these are two examples where I clearly noticed something which is also becoming a hindrance in our relationship, where I point her to something, and the behavior pattern, guys, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the content. I give these examples, these two examples, as an example for content, but it's about the context, that whatever I reach out to some women, they have an attitude of straightly rejecting it and not looking at it, not even considering it. And I'm not talking about that I'm right, I'm always right, and I have a gift for her, and it's the truth, and all of that, and she should look at it. No. It's just like, let it sink in, see where I'm coming from, try to feel that, try to empathize, try to feel empathy for it, see it from my perspective, reflect on it, do something with it, ask people if it's a common thing. And I'm quite sure that with all these examples I've mentioned too, but also with other women which I've gifted to them, I'm sure that quite a few of these things, there has been something in it where she could actually make an improvement if she is willing to look at it. But the behavior pattern that I think you should really stay away from, if this reflectiveness and this willingness to improve is simply not there. Because what then happens is that very severe personal traits stay untreated for many years, which will affect on the relationship you have with her, also with people she has with other people. And it's a certain blind spot that will over time become bigger and bigger. Because many times these are things that people need to work on. And that's for me a huge indicator of a woman. And I'm not speaking about a damaged woman or things like that in this video, because even if someone is damaged, with the right therapy and the right approach, she could be repaired. So just pointing at her like she's a damaged woman, it's kind of like a static way of pointing out something. It's not how I see things. I think things are always in change, always have a chance to fix something, to revise something, to relive emotions and trauma, things like that. But if you have this static, non-reflective state, this attitude where you cannot reflect, that closes the door to actually making any kind of change, and I would even say transformation for becoming a better person. That's for me the most important indicator for staying away from women, because then it's very simply, I'm the guy who is doing all these things. First of all, inspired by myself, my friends, man groups, by reading books, watching videos, I'm working on myself. And she is the one who sits back with her problems, not working on herself, and then thinking she's Miss Perfect. That's a dynamic I cannot not operate in. So that's something for you guys to think about. If you encounter such personalities, just see what it's about, and if it's really like an attitude kind of thing, just reflect back on yourself. Do you want to be with people like that? For me, it's a clear no. Maybe for you, it's a clear yes. It's also dependent on the relationships you want to have, what you want to get out of certain people. For me, it's important because it reflects back on the vibes and conversations I have with people. If there is a blind spot in the back of the psyche at work that's damaging the dynamic, the social dynamic, then yeah, I feel kind of limited in a way. I like to see people in their full empowerment, and if that's there, then that door is closed. It's just something I'm experiencing. Let me know, guys, what you think about it, if you have encountered things like this. Looking forward to hear your replies in the comments. Like and subscribe the video, and see you on the next one.